Hi friends, it's Nancy, and today we're going to start a new project. It's one of my ideas that I've had on my list to do in the next month or so, and Amy at CraftyCat USA came out with a new digital called Witchy, and so while she's on vacation, we're going to play with this new kit. It is in her Etsy shop, and it's really pretty because it's blacks and purples. And a little touch of green. It has kind of a vibe of the dark fae, but different though, very different. Isn't that pretty, that page? And this is just a few pages of the witches there, and I love them. And then I had made some with my granddaughters the other day. We did some jelly print playing around. They like doing that. We did it last year and they wanted to do it again. And I found this, I did this because Gail Augustinelli did it maybe a year or so ago, and with the baby powder. So that's how you get these white spots on there. And then I just used, excuse me, some acrylic paint, black, beige, and purple. And just made a few. I mean, the girls made a ton of, but I just used some colors from the kit. And yeah, so I did that. I printed out the pages. I have a few of the witches here and some of these. I'm going to look for what else I have, maybe some, other dyed papers I have and things like that. But back to the project. The project I wanted to do is going to be with envelopes, and it's going to be an easy project. It's not involved. So because we need some easy projects too, right? So this is called Witchwood Lane. Witchwood Lane. This is a row of houses in which the witches live on Witchwood Lane. And it's going to be a triptych type thing where you can stand it up, and it's going to be a row of houses, and there's a witch that lives in each house, and we're just going to decorate them, and you can stand it up on your mantle, on a table, on a shelf, and they'll each have a tag in there, and I think it's going to be super fun. I'm really excited about doing this. So I call it Witchwood Lane. And so what I want you to do, it's going to be easy. It's going to be collaging on the envelopes and making tags to go in the houses. So that's what we're going to do. And so what I want you to do is look through your junk mail envelopes and pick 5 of them out. And of course, you can make just 3. If you want to do just 3 envelopes, you can do 3 envelopes. But I think 5 is a nice, it will be a nice amount, 5. And boy, if I could think of what I want to say here, I'm sorry. Odd number is always nice, I think. That's what I'm trying to tell you. So I'm going to move this one here, I think. Something like that. And you can do whatever you want, but I picked a big window envelope for the middle house. And then I picked some envelopes that have some different heights in them, just because we are going to cut them to shape. But I like this big window, and these have small. We use whatever you have. And yeah, I think, or I could use, let's see, I could do that one too, like that. We'll see. Maybe I'll do it that way. It doesn't matter. So get yourself some envelopes, at least 5 of them. Okay. And that's the easy part because we all have those, right? And it just so happens, and I made a base already, which I'll show you soon, but I want to show you how to put it together. It's kind of fun that some of these have the black security design behind them, but we can definitely cover those up. Okay, so once you pick them, the next step I want you to do is seal them if they're not sealed. So you can just take your glue stick or your glue and just seal them up, because they're going to all be open from the top. So we don't need them open here. And so let's just do that first. Make sure they're all sealed. And some of mine are used, so it doesn't matter because, like I said, they're going to get, if you hear loud noises, it's a garbage day. It's garbage day today, so the garbage trucks are coming. That's what you're hearing out there. Oh, and this one here is sealed, and it is, I think it was opened at the bottom here, but I glued it shut, so this one's fine. And then this one here, I'll get this one glued. Yeah, garbage day today. Of course, they're going to come around right now when I made the video, but that's okay. We all have garbage day in our house, right? We all have that, so. All right, let me get this stuck on there really good. And like I said, it'll be collaged over, so no worries on this. And then this one here. So I hope you're all doing well. It's kind of nice to do, you know, we need to do some smaller projects, some easier projects in between. So I'm excited to do this. Okay, so we have our envelopes. We sealed them all up, right? And then we have them arranged how we want them. And I like, you know, get different heights because we're going to cut them so they'll all be different height houses and different types of roofs. So once you arrange them, the other thing we can do, and I hemmed and hawed about this, but how I wanted to do this, because I'm going to show you how I cut the roof lines. And I was going to collage first and then cut them, but I said, no, I think I'm going to cut them first and then do that. But the next thing you want to do is ink the edges all around. First we're going to open them at the top. So I just slit them open for now with scissors. I want you to do that first. Sorry about that. Let's slit these open. And then we will eventually cut them in a roof shape. I'll show you. And they'll be a little wonky too, so because I don't want them to be like perfect, but let's just at least get them open for now. Easy enough. Okay. I think this will be really cute on a a table or a mantle. It'll be fun to look at. And we're going to decorate both sides because, you know, the fronts and the backs. So if you have it on a table that you can see all around it, that'll be even better. But, okay, so we have that. They're sealed, they're arranged, they're slit at the top. Okay, now we're going to ink. So if I'm using Amy's kits, her kits are, I'll just bring this page over here. We've got purple, we've got black, we've got gray. So I am going to just do black. That's what I'm going to use, but you can use what you want. And I just want to do this now before we connect them together. I think it's better to do it now than to do it after. I don't know. You don't need to do the top yet. Let's not worry about that. What I'm doing is around the window, the sides and the bottom, okay? So let's just get that done. And I'm not going to sit here and ink all of these for you. I'm just going to show you how I do one, and then I think you get the picture. So just give it a good ink along the sides. And once we cut the roof line, then, you know, you can ink the roof line then too before we start collaging. But let's at least get this done. So I'm doing that, and I'm going to do it on both sides, like so. Not worrying about the top yet. Okay. I think it's just easier to do it now, and then we collage over them, and you can always touch up a side if you need to after you get paper on there. So just do it this way for now, like this. And then the window, let me get a tissue. The window is easy to ink. I just have a tissue here. And I am just going to go around the window with my ink. And it doesn't matter if you get it on the window because it wipes right off, I found, because I already did this. So all you want to do is go around this, so then we don't have to worry about this. Okay, and then you can take your tissue and just wipe the window, and it comes right off. I mean, maybe if you wait a while, it might stick, but after you ink it, just wipe it down and it's done. So do that around on both sides in your window to all these envelopes, okay? After you do that, we're going to do the roofs. Now, if you want to draw them in, you can draw them in to make yourself a cut line, okay? And I'm going to draw them and show you what I did. You can draw any kind of roof line you want. It doesn't matter. For this one here, let me make sure I'm in here. I'll go there. So for this one here, I'm going to find the middle. This envelope is kind of almost 4 inches wide. So I'm put a little tick mark at the middle there. And I'm just going to make it any size I want. So I'm going to go 2.5 here. From there, I'm just going to draw myself a line, and then I'll do 2.5 here. So I'll make this one like a regular roof line here. And then the second one here, I'm going to find the middle, which is again almost 4. So I'll just put a tick mark there. Now I'm going to make this a funny one, I'm just going to do maybe like a 2.25. Maybe I'll make this one like 2. I'll make this 2. So I'm going to make this a 2-inch over there, but I'm going to make this a deep one here. I'm going to make this one a 2 3/4. I don't want them all to be the same. I want them to be a little wonky, and you'll see how cute it's going to look. You don't want them. Now the middle one here, we can do a regular. You can do maybe like a gable one. This one's a little over 4, so I'm going to make a tick mark there. You can make like, we can cut off, say, we can make it 1 inch. We could do this, 1 inch here, and we can do 1 inch here, and you can just, oh, now that looks terrible. What was I thinking? 1 inch there. Yeah, I got that. And 1 inch here. I did do 1 inch, 1 inch, but it looks funny. But okay, we can do like, make this one a flat top with just the curves. We can do that there. And then this one here, I think I'm going to make this one kind of a wonky one too. So just kind of find the middle. It doesn't have to be perfect. And let's just do, maybe this one will be a deep one. You don't even have to measure it. Just draw it into what looks good to you. That's all. And then this end here will be a short end here. Something like this. So you see how wonky these are going to be. And then this one I'm going to make wonky as well. But if you want them all perfect, or decorative, round, try, whatever you want, make your roof lines just kind of something different, okay? I'm going to make this one, maybe I'll make this one kind of like over here, that way there, and that there. So you can see they're all kind of wonky, and I think that's going to make it more interesting, okay? So then you inked everything, you drew in your lines, and then you could cut along your lines of your roof. So cut those off, right? Now, once you do that, we're going to hinge them. So what I'm going to use, you can use anything you want to hinge the houses together. I happen to have a piece of gray hand-dyed paper. So what I did was I'm cutting it in cutting it or tearing it, whatever you want to do. I'm going to cut 1-inch strips, and I'll just show you here. Cut yourself some 1-inch strips, and cut it. You're going to need how many? 1, 2, 3, 4. You'll need 4 strips, and as long as they're long enough to hinge your houses. So like, I'm going to say hinge these two here together. I don't want to go past the roof line, so I'm going to line them up here. See where the lowest roof line meets here, right there. And that's where I'm going to stop my hinge there. So I'm going to see, and then I'm just going to end it here at the bottom. Cut that off with my scissors. Doesn't have to be perfect. Save your little pieces. And then I'm going to fold it in half. And you can score it if you need to, but really it just go ahead and fold. If you're going to use book page, I probably would double the book page because it is going to be a hinge, and book page usually is thin. This paper here is like a 28-pound paper here, so this is thicker. So if you use book page, I would glue book page together and then cut a strip, okay? So then once you measured your two houses together, you don't want it to go past your lowest point of your roof. Then I want you to fold it in half, glue half on here, like so, and I can do that and show you. So we'll get glue on half. And this whole thing will go very fast. So the fun part of collaging and stuff will be the fun part. You know, we'll do that. But this doesn't take long at all. So I've got it folded in half, you can see. And the first house here, I'm going to glue this on the front, starting at the bottom, like so. And then just kind of make sure it's up to the crease there, like so. Glue that. And I'm using gray because the gray will go well with it, okay? Now, once you have that on there, I want you to put glue on this side. And then we're going to glue the next envelope on. So part of the hinge will be in the front and part of the hinge will be in the back. And I think it's going to work really nice for hinging. And this will be very sturdy. It will stand up. So now we're going to line this up. Make sure, line up your bottom as best you can with your envelope. Keep them even here if you can. It's not going to be perfect, but it will. Line it up to your crease, and you can check. Once you fold it, you can just check and make sure your envelopes are, you know, together. And they won't be, you won't line it up directly on the crease. It'll just be to the right of the crease. And you can see there's a little space here, and that's fine. But you see, I will cut this already. We will cut this, you know. So this is going to be the hinge, okay? And so that's what you're going to do. You're going to ink your edges, ink your windows. You're going to draw in and cut your roofs. And then you're going to cut if you're going to make 5 houses, you need 1, 2, 3, 4 strips, 1 inches. Measure them when you connect to not to go past the lowest point of your house. And they'll all be a little different, okay? This one will be the tallest one here. And then you can glue on front, back, and so on, okay? Once you have all that done, it's going to look like this. Let me move this out of the way. So here's the one I finished, okay? I didn't do anything different than what I told you. I did some wonkiness. This one, it looks like I just did kind of regular. This one is a little wonky, and this one's wonky. So you can see I didn't go past the lowest point of the house that it's connected to. And then when you connect them, you can see how it's going to connect, and already it stands up really nice, but it's going to be really cute. And the dyed paper that I used, or whatever paper you use, is going to be fine, and it's already inked. All we have to do is probably ink the roof lines when we get to them. Before we start collaging, we can ink the roof lines. And then we can start, you know, we can cover the inside if you have envelopes, like even though some of these have the black in there, I still would cover them if you want. So we could probably keep working on this. So far so good. This is super easy. This is super easy. So now you would gather, you know, some of the digital papers, any of your jelly print papers, your hand-dyed papers, things like that. Here's some of that book page. Remember my book page? I can gather some of that. Oops, I just dropped stuff on the floor. And then get some purples. I have some purples here, so I'll gather some of that. Probably, you know, I'm gathering papers from my Spellbound stuff over here. So, but you can gather whatever you have, just little scraps of papers, things like that. And what else? And for now, I didn't think of decorative type things yet, but I think what we can do next is probably cover the insides here. So we can just look for some papers that will fit inside. Now see, a scrap like this, I could fit in there into one of these, on any of these, and that would look fine. So let's see which one. This is tall, and I could even kind of, there's a pretty flower here, so I could probably get that in here in one of these, just to add interest when you take the tag out. So what I'm going to do is kind of see where the flower goes, and then I'm going to kind of rough edge it here, fold it, and then cut it. Let's just see what that looks like. Make sure it goes in there. Yeah, see how pretty that will look there? Just kind of add something. So what I'm going to tell you to do then, which I've done before and it works well, I know we can't get in there to glue the whole thing down. So what I do is you can, if you want to try putting some glue down here, but I put glue here and I open it, and I don't put glue here, but I have it up on the front. So what I do is I'm able to slide this in, position it, and then push it down. Nothing will catch on it to pull that up. And I've done that in my Spellbound journal, and I'm not having any problems with it. So I'm going to do that. I'll show you. So see, it's just a scrap. It's enough to cover the inside of the window. Excuse me, I have a frog in my throat today. You know, I live in Illinois, and the last few days, it's the Canadian wildfires that have brought a haze of smoke down towards us. And I was outside with my grandkids a lot yesterday and that, so I think that's probably why I have this little dry throat. They wanted to play out for a little bit, so I'm sliding this in here, positioning the flower. It's all the way down, and then I'm just going to press it, and that one's in there, like so. Okay, so we have that one. Let's see what else I have here. I'm just looking at my scraps. I have this one. Now this might be a little harder to get down in there. I think you need something a little more to hold on to. So let's see what else I have here. Just looking off to the side for a bigger scrap in my bin. I do have some of this music paper here. And let's see what else we have here. So I'm trying to use scraps for sure. I have some of this. We could definitely put some of that in there. And I do have that. I'm reaching in my Spellbound scraps here. Oh, here's a Here's a tall piece too. But I know Amy gave us some. Oh, here's a pretty purple piece here. Now that would work. That would work too. So we could do that. So let's do that. Let's get that purple piece in there. That's gonna work for any of these tall windows here. So I think I'm going to put it in here. I'm just going to cut some of that off. Of course, you can use the kit too. I was just trying to use some of the scraps I had here laying on the side. Wow. Of course, the garbage truck is right out in front of my house doing its whatever it's doing. I don't know. Oh, it's funny. Okay. So now let me grab this. I'm going to turn it so I can get my hands inside here. Open the house up, and I'm going to slide it way down in there the best I can. And let's see here. Now this house is a little taller, so I have to get it down in there. Let me get it down in there. It's a little tricky, but it can be done. Here we go. Like so. See? Not too bad. And you can go in there with your... The thing is, don't get glue. You know, when you're holding it, you shouldn't get glue on there to close it up. It should be fine. But you can... Make sure I didn't glue the envelope shut on the top here. But no, feels good. Okay. So we've got 2 windows covered. That's good. Okay. And then... what else can we use here? I think I want to use, maybe I could use part of that to go in there. So I'm going to get my tear ruler. Yeah, I just gathered some paints, acrylics that I had, squirted them on the jelly plate, used a roller, rolled them, sprinkled a little baby powder, laid a sheet of my copy paper on there, rubbed it on, pulled it off, and you get what you get. And it worked out really well. And it's unique. So, you know, it's really, really fun. The girls just had a blast. They made more than me. They just wanted to keep going, so I just let them. And they made all kind of different colors and designs and papers. They used Q-tips to make their designs. So, I mean, you know, we could use stencils and really get into it, but you know, it's all about just playing around, just having fun playing. So, all right, I'm going to just kind of measure this one, and I'm going to, this is a bigger piece, but I'll cut some of it off the top. So I'm going to do this. Make sure you have enough to cover your window so you get it in there. And then I don't need this full piece. I'm going to see where it comes down in the bottom here and just go about here. Okay. So now this should go in here just fine. Let's see. Now if it's a little tight, I might have to take some off, but it should be fine. Yeah, it's a little tight. I could probably take a little bit more off of there, but we'll see. Yeah, let me just take a smidge off. Let me take a little bit off without too much. And I'll save this piece, because this can be used, right? Okay, so now what I can do on this big one here too is I can already put it in there. I don't have to take it out because I could probably reach in there and get the glue in there. So let me slide this in. The taller ones are a little tricky, but can be done. No worries. So I have it all the way down. The trick is to get it all the way down. Okay, now, yeah, it's a little hard, but I think maybe I should. I think I will put the glue on here first. I think I will. So I don't want to rip my tall house here. So probably, I would say definitely put some glue up on top. I mean, you'll get it on your hand a little, but it's okay. All right, now let's work with it here. Okay. It's probably the hardest part of this whole thing, so it's not going to be so bad. I'm lifting it up. I've got my finger under here, going in. So the thing is, you don't want it too tight. There we go. I did get glue up here, but that's okay. I'm going to wipe that off. Just got a little bit here, but it's not a problem. Really easy. And just make sure you touch the top part where you do have your glue. And that's it. Okay. So we have those 3 done. I like it. See how pretty that looks in there? So now I want more of a darker one. So how about, well, I could put a gray one in there. I do have this pretty gray. I think I'll put the gray one over here. So let me get a piece here to cover this. And we don't need it that tall. I'll put this one in here. And then we just need a skinny one for here. So you see how quick this went, right? It's not too bad. So I want you to at least get this far. And I think in our next video, we're gonna do the collaging. So I still need to gather more. I'm gonna turn this around here so I can get in here better. I need to just gather a few more pages for collaging. That's what I'm gonna do. Slide that in there. Put that way down in there. There we go. Just as long as it gets down to the bottom. It's a little off. Hold on, I gotta fix that. I got it stuck before I wanted it. Of course, one of the last ones, right? Hold on, let me gather my tweezers here. Get this pulled up here. I don't want it to stick yet. Okay. Hold on, I have a problem. It got stuck on me here. Let me gather this up. There we go. Okay, before it sticks. I'm not worried that I'm crushing that. It's fine. Nothing's going to happen to that. All right, now I got it. Now it's good. Okay. Make sure I have it stuck in there. Yep. Okay, that's good. And then one more. Let's find something. One more here. Maybe I will do the music page. I have this strip here. So let's get this in here. Okay. And then I don't need much for sure. So I'm going to take some of this off here. And let's get that in there. I think that's that's the way it goes. Okay. Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh my gosh. I'm getting a little reckless here, aren't I? So I'm going to get that in there. So let me get some glue. Now, after we get this part done, it's the fun part. So gather all your collaging pages. Print your witches out, the witches you want to use. And what else? Get all your little pieces, bits and pieces, like brooms and cats and whatever else you can think of. And let's get that back in there. Yeah, it's a little tougher on some of these, but it's okay. It's okay. There we go. I think we're good now. And you can just press that down, just like that. And there we go. We have them all ready to, oh, look what I did. Oh my gosh, were you yelling at me that I glued it on top of the other one? Oh my gosh, I can't believe I did that. Hold on, let me see if I can get it out. Oh, you know, when you haven't crafted a few days, this is what happens. I don't know if I can get it out because I only glued it on the top here. So let's see if I can get it out of here. Oh my gosh. Hold on. I'm going to rip it out. Wow. Isn't that that's terrible that I did that. I bet you were yelling at me, weren't you? I'm going to fix that. Oh, I have to fix this too. I didn't get enough glue here. You know, I've been so busy with the grandkids and I haven't been able to make any videos. So I'm kind of like, got to get back in the groove here, you know. Okay, there we go. I noticed that wasn't glued well. All right, let me fix that. I'm so sorry about that. So let me make sure this is going to work. I might have to trim this off. This part, I don't know. I might have to cut a new one. Let me cut a new piece for this. We'll use that as a scrap. Wow, that was really... I wasn't paying attention, I guess, huh? Oh, my. All right, there's for that one. Let's try this one again, shall we? Let's try getting this in here, glued in again. Wow. Okay. I'll be fine. It's okay. So let's get it in the correct window. All the way down in there, like so. Sorry if I'm off screen here. Yeah, it's a trick, but it can be done. Not that hard. There we go. There we go. Make sure it's even. Do I have it even? Yeah. Okay, that's good there. I've got glue everywhere. All right, so make sure it's in there. And then let's get this one back in here where it should be. Okay. Ay. All right, friends. Last one. Let's get it in there. Okay. There we go. Ta-da. Make sure it's in there. Yep. It's not sticking. Okay. All right, I have them done now. Okay, let's open it up. So there we go. I have the insides covered. So we have a little bit of our cream beigey background. These are fine. Nothing's sticking. Everything is open. See, I got my hand in there. Hand is going in just fine. Nothing got glued. Fine. And fine. Okay. Now, the next thing we're going to do in the next video, so I'm going to give you time to get all this together. When I see in the next video, I'll have all my pages gathered, my witches cut out, and what we're going to do is we're going to decorate the fronts of the houses. We're going to decorate the backs of the houses, and then we're going to make tags with the witches. We're going to put a witch in each tag, so we're going to see a witch that lives in each house. And there's a lot of witches in the kit, but I think the ones I'm going to use for the houses is this sheet right here. I printed out. I like their faces because, you know, I think they'll be fine. There's 6 of them, but we'll only need 5. But you never know, there could be one standing on the back too. I did print out this one here as well, because I love these standing ones here and this purple one. And there's more pages. I haven't decided, but I only printed these out so far with all the other pages. So gather all your bits and pieces, get them ready for collage, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks, friends. Take care now. Bye.